The knock on my door was violent, like whoever stood outside was afraid I would disappear if they didn't hit the wood hard enough. "Open the door!" a familiar voice shouted. "We know you're inside!" My hand froze on the handle. My heart slammed against my ribs so hard it hurt. I hadn't heard that voice in years, yet my body recognized it instantly. Fear, anger, old pain rushing back all at once. "Amina!" the voice cried again. "Please, we just want to talk." Talk? After everything? I laughed, a short, bitter sound, and leaned my forehead against the door. Outside stood the same people who once pushed me out into the night with nothing but the clothes on my back. The same people who told me I was no longer family. I took a deep breath, straightened my shoulders, and opened the door. My mother stood there first, older now, smaller. Her eyes widened when she saw me, like she wasn't sure I was real. Behind her were my uncle, my aunt, and my cousin. All of them wore the same expression, forced humility mixed with expectation. "Look at you," my mother whispered. "You've grown." I met her eyes without smiling. "Why are you here?" Silence fell, thick and uncomfortable. My uncle cleared his throat. "Can we come in? We're family." That word hit me like a slap. Family. My mind drifted backward, years ago, to the night I learned what that word truly meant. I was 16 when my life broke apart. Before then, I had already learned to make myself small. In our house, my voice was always too loud, my questions always inconvenient, my presence something to tolerate rather than celebrate. My younger cousin, Halima, lived with us, and she was everything I was not. Praised, protected, admired. When she spoke, people listened. When I spoke, I was told to be quiet. "Amina, why can't you be more like Halima?" my aunt would say loudly, even when guests were around. I would swallow my embarrassment and nod. "I'll try." Trying was my specialty. I tried to wake up early to clean. I tried to cook better meals. I tried to smile even when my chest felt heavy. I tried to earn love like it was something you could work for. One evening, a neighbor's phone went missing. The accusation came fast and sharp. "It was Amina," my cousin said, her voice trembling just enough to sound believable. "I saw her near the room." "What?" I gasped. "No, I didn't." My mother didn't look at me. "Did you take it?" "No." My voice cracked. "I swear I didn't." My uncle stepped forward. "Then search her bag." My heart dropped. "You don't have to." They dumped my bag on the floor. Clothes, books, and then the phone. I stared at it like it had grown teeth. "That's not mine," I whispered. "I've never seen it before." Halima began to cry. "Why would you do this to us, Amina?" My aunt shook her head in disgust. "I always said she was trouble." I turned to my mother, desperate. "Mama, please, you know me." She finally looked at me, and what I saw there shattered something inside me. Not confusion, not doubt, relief, like she had been waiting for a reason. "You have shamed us," she said coldly. "Get out." The room spun. "What? You heard me," my uncle said. "You're no longer welcome here." I fell to my knees. "Please, I didn't do this. I have nowhere to go." My mother's voice was final. "You stopped being family the moment you stole from us. They didn't let me pack. They didn't give me money. They pushed me outside and locked the door. I stood there long after the lights went out, knocking until my knuckles bled. No one answered. That night, the streets became my home. I slept behind a closed shop, hugging my knees to my chest, shivering from cold and fear. Hunger clawed at my stomach, but the pain in my heart was worse. "They're my family," I whispered into the darkness. "They'll come back." They didn't. Days passed, then weeks. I learned which places were safe to sit, which people to avoid. I learned how invisible a person could become. One evening, rain poured so hard the streets flooded. I huddled under a small shop awning, soaked and exhausted. "Hey," a man's voice said gently. "You'll catch a cold standing there." I looked up, ready to run. He was older, maybe in his late 40s, with tired eyes and rough hands. He wore a simple shirt and apron. "I'm not going to hurt you," he said quickly. "I own this shop. Come inside." "I'm fine," I lied. He studied me for a moment. "You're shaking?" I didn't respond. He stepped aside and held the door open, just for the rain. Something about his voice felt different, not demanding, not accusing. I stepped inside. He handed me a towel. "What's your name?" "Amina." "I'm Musa." He didn't ask where my parents were. He didn't ask why I was alone. He just poured me a cup of hot tea and set it in front of me. "Drink," he said. "We'll talk later." That night, he let me sleep on a mat in the back of the shop. One night became two. Two became weeks. Slowly, words returned to me. "I was accused," I told him one night, staring at the floor. "They said I stole. They threw me out. Musa listened quietly. Then he said something that changed everything. Blood doesn't decide who loves you, he said. Actions do. Under his roof, I learned a different kind of family. He taught me to sew, to manage money, to stand straight when I spoke. When I made mistakes, he corrected me without cruelty. You're not a burden, he told me once when I apologized for breaking a plate. You're a human being. Years passed. I grew stronger, smarter, whole. I went back to school. I worked. I built a life piece by piece. Musa never once reminded me that I wasn't his responsibility. I chose you, he said simply. That's enough. By the time success found me, I had stopped thinking about the people who abandoned me until they knocked on my door. Back in the present, my uncle shifted awkwardly. Amina, we heard you're doing well. I am, I said calmly. My mother wiped her eyes. We made mistakes. I laughed softly. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. Halima stepped forward. I was young. I didn't know what I was doing. I met her gaze. You knew exactly what you were doing. Silence. My uncle cleared his throat again. We're still your blood. I felt no anger, only clarity. Blood didn't feed me when I was hungry, I said. Blood didn't give me shelter when I slept on the streets. Blood didn't believe me. My mother reached for my hand. I stepped back. The man who saved me, I continued, my voice steady, doesn't share my blood, but he is my family. Tears streamed down her face. So that's it? You'll just forget us? I shook my head. I didn't forget you. I survived you. I closed the door gently, not in anger, but in peace. Behind it, my heart was finally quiet, because I had learned the truth the hard way. Blood is not always family.